Yeah, there's nothing better though when you get a streak of posts that hit and you're like, I'm that
Like,
motherfucker.
yes,
You're like,
yes.
nobody can stop me.
Showing it to my girlfriend, like, look at how good my Twitter's doing. And she's like a nurse. So she's like, I don't give a fuck, Spencer. She's, she's
It's
like,
like the ICUs are full. We're sending people to Thunder Bay. You're like,
seriously,
yeah.
dude, I am not allowed to have a bad day. Like I'm not allowed. Like I dropped her off at work. She's coming home soon, and I'm so scared because I can't be like, what is my bad day? I'm like, my video game was too hard.
I
Like
don't know. Do you want me in, like, I can call up some people to jump you so that you can now have like leverage in dinner conversations with your girl?
yeah. Well, I got jumped by like 3 guys. She'd be like, that doesn't matter. My day was worse. I
Yeah,
promise.
but also, how do you get jumped inside your house, right? Because like,
Yeah, she's
it's
like,
not
really?
like,
Did a child die in your arms today? No? Okay, well then I had a worse day. And I'm like,
you're like, I was the child that
that's
almost died in other guys' arms. Does that count?
yeah, I'm a child that almost died on the sidewalk. How's that?
Bro, when I was in grade 9, I don't know why my teacher did this, but we had to read this short story, and he was like, you know why guys don't like reading in school? And I was like, I love reading in school. He's like, it's because the stories aren't geared towards men. I'm like, probably because we're
It's very
13.
funny.
Yeah, probably because we're 13. And he's like, we're gonna read short stories like The Sniper. I'm like, okay.
Hell
He's
yeah.
like, and dying on the sidewalk bleeding. I'm like,
Oh yeah, I remember that one
like, what the
actually.
fuck
It's just about a
is
guy that
that?
gets stabbed and then nobody helps him and he dies. That's
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
That's the
like
whole
fucking
story.
depressing. I remember reading that. I was fucked up for like a while. Like I came home from class. This was in grade 8, mind you. I remember this so vividly. I came home and I was like, just like fucking had that 1,000-mile stare. I put down like my bags. My mom was like, how was school? I'm like, I don't know. I gotta have a shower. I'm like, just like thinking about like, oh my God, that's the whole, and it's like, yeah, storybooks, but for guys, it's getting knifed and then you die and nobody loves you or helps you. That's the end of it. Tough life, bitch. Like, it's like, that's not a book for guys.
Yeah,
That's just upsetting.
yeah. It's
I
like,
like nice things too about like a couple that falls in love and then they like have to be torn apart and then they meet later on in life and they're still in love. I like that shit too.
yeah, or
But
like,
then they're like, no, that's gay. You need to fucking read about a guy getting knifed. It's like,
or
okay.
a noble chivalrous king who goes to rescue a girl from a tower, and then his
Yeah.
sidekick falls in love with a dragon, and he brings her back because she's supposed to be wedded to the prince back in the place where he's from, just
Sure.
to get his swamp back. But you know, things like that.
Sure. But they're
Um,
like, no, you got to read about a sniper that's killing people from a tower and then he gets shot in the back of the head, but he survives and he's telling you all about his death. And you're
no,
like,
the plot twist
I
was
don't really want to read this.
it was his brother that he killed.
Right,
Remember?
that was the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was his brother because it was a civil war. Right, I remember
Yes.
that. Oh my God, I can't believe you read these two. And I'm like, this is so fucking upset.
My question is like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Does he
yeah.
not
Guys
clue?
are supposed to read that and go, hell yeah.
Well,
Like I didn't
is a
like
sniper?
that.
I don't know. Is a sniper not clue in that it might be his brother? Like, how distant are you from your fucking family? Like, you've
Yeah,
never
no
talked to your brother
kidding.
once, and he's like, yeah, I'm a part of the Allies, and you're like, oh, I'm Axis team, and he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm a sniper too, and you're like, oh,
no
I'm probably
way.
just killing a random guy.
He
Like,
really doesn't know. He does barely. Okay, and you can see the guy. Like I understand it was dark or something, but you can see the guy through the scope.
yeah,
You might be like,
that
that
hat
looks
looks
like a
familiar.
family member of mine. Maybe I shouldn't pull the trigger. Maybe I shouldn't be so goddamn trigger happy.
Yeah, I get not everybody has wild ass bushy hair like people in my family, but still, like you
But
should
still, like if I
be
saw
able.
my sister through a sniper scope, I would hesitate. If I saw somebody that looked like my sister, I'd
Yeah,
be like,
literally.
1 minute.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just a story about like poor judgment and extremely
I like that
terrible
idea
awareness.
that things geared towards men are just violent and horrible. It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, no wonder there's so many shitty people out there. Like, what are you talking about? Is just like, you know, like the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower. I remember telling my friends, I was like, oh, fuck, I love that movie. And they're like, I'm like, what? Like, what? Oh, you fucking, what, you like nice things? You should like fucking football. Like, okay. Like,
I love how
what?
football is like the most manly sport out
Yeah, I
there,
know.
and
And it's so
it literally every play starts with a dude's hand underneath another guy's ball sack, like
Yeah.
that's the epitome of manliness.
Yeah, they're like, that's meant because they're not getting hard about it. I'm just saying they're not, because they're just sitting there and they tackle the shit out of each other.